Hi, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 things to help you develop strong financial goals. My name is Tremaine Wills from Mind Over Money. I'm super excited to walk with you on this journey. The very first thing you want to do to develop strong financial goals is to write down your dreams. When we are creating our goals, we want to make sure we have a clear understanding of what it is we want to accomplish. Oftentimes, the goals that we set are not really in alignment with the things that we value. So when you're making your goals, you want to make sure that you write down the things that are most important to you and center your goals around that. The next thing you want to do is organize your goals. So let's say, for example, you want to save $12,000 by the end of the year. This goal might be important to you because it will help you get a sense of financial peace, give you a security blanket just in case something happens with your finances, and maybe that will allow you to operate at your best self. So this goal of $12,000, you need to organize how you're going to achieve that. The first thing you're going to do is determine how frequently are you going to be able to set money aside. Oftentimes, we'll be able to break this down into equal payments between the money that comes into our account. If my goal is $12,000, I want to spread it out evenly throughout the year. If you're watching this in January, this will be easy math for you. You'll just need to set aside $1,000 a month into an account. Another thing that we need to do to take it even a further step is to make sure that we know the details of how it's going to happen. So not only do I know that I'm setting aside $1,000 a month, well, how does that happen? Am I paid on the 1st and 15th? Am I paid biweekly? Am I paid once per month? Knowing the specific details of how much is going to come out of each check and then which account it's going to go to will give me extreme clarity on how I'm going to get this job done. Organizing the goal will make sure that I know the specific steps I need to take and give me the confidence to ensure that I can do the steps required to complete the goal that I want to complete. The next thing I want to do is create a rough plan. So I've organized the structure around how it's going to work. Now I'm going to set my plan up to make sure that I can achieve my goal. So if the goal is $1,000 a month, I want to make sure that this is built into my budget. So that way there are no surprises when this money is coming out of my check and going into my savings account. The worst thing that I can do for myself is set a goal and then not have the ability to complete the goal. When I go back on things that I say that I'm going to do, I teach myself not to trust me, right? So I want to make sure that when I'm creating goals, they are in alignment with what I'm actually able to do. So if my mission is to save $12,000, creating that rough draft around how it's going to happen will let me know if there are any hurdles or obstacles in the way. I might find that the way that my budget is currently set up, I don't have $1,000 right now every month to dedicate to putting money in my savings account. That might help me either adjust how much I want to save by the end of the year or find ways to increase my income. The rough draft is why this is so important. The best way to get started on a rough draft is to create a budget. So if you don't have a budget already, be sure to check out one of our videos to see how you can create that. Step 4, you want to review your plan. So as you have set the goal, you've identified what is most important to you, you have your rough draft, you want to review and make sure that it is actually in alignment with what is possible. Set these financial goals. Things are going to happen throughout the year that might deter us from being able to complete the plan as we set it out to be. Many people set New Year's resolutions every year. If you're watching this, you're probably setting a financial resolution. But of the people that set resolutions, only 8% complete them. Why? So many of us set goals and we don't keep them in front of us. And so we abandon them because they're not constantly top of mind. Or if we do keep them in front of us, something happens that throws us off from our goal and we decide that we're no longer committed to it. So reviewing your plan consistently will ensure that it stays on top of mind and you're able to correct course if anything happens that throws you off of your plan. And then lastly, you want to see it and believe it. Now, even though this is step number 5, this is probably the most important step in this process. We have to be able to identify the ways that we're going to make things happen. I have to see it in order to make myself get to this point. It's hard to go somewhere when I have no idea where I want to go. So as you start to think about the goals that you want to reach, the dreams that you have for your life, begin to visualize and understand what that's going to look like. What is it going to take? How am I going to feel when I reach that particular point in my journey? What emotions are going to come up? And as you start to see it, get excited. You're creating new pathways in your mind on ways to make it happen. The question is never, can I do something? The question is always how. When we are committed to an outcome, can is not something we worry about. We work about, how do I get this thing done? I am so excited about making this vision come true that the only obstacle in my way is figuring out how to make it done. As soon as you commit to something and you believe that it is possible, you will work overtime to figure out that how. Seeing is believing, so you have to see it so that you can achieve it. So the 5 things to make sure that you have strong financial goals is to write down what your dreams are. You want to figure out and organize that goal. After you organize it, you want to create a rough draft. Then you want to review that plan as often as possible. And then finally, you got to see it and believe it. I hope these tips have helped you out. If you enjoyed that, be sure to check out the next video.